Hello! What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and here's a random movie that I decided to watch, and I'm now reviewing. I'm talking about Scoob! Scoob is a 2020 film that I remember seeing the trailer for and thinking, man, that does not look interesting to me at all. So if you're wondering why did I watch it, well, because HBO Max had it. So I said, well, let me see if it's as uninteresting, uninspired as I thought it looked. The plot is we basically see, at least at the very beginning, how Shaggy and Scooby meet, because that's something that we really wanted to know and see. It was very important. I'm glad we got that out of the way. And then we see how they meet everybody else in the gang and how they start hunting ghosts or criminals, whatever you want to call it. And then from there, they just go on this big adventure, this very big adventure, something that I wasn't really expecting to see. Overall, I thought the movie was fine. It was fine. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's just one of those things where I'm kind of scratching my head on why we did this. Especially, I probably would be more upset or more annoyed if this had come out in theaters like it was originally intended to. Yes, this movie was supposed to be a theatrical release. The level of writing and the weird animation that it has, it's not terrible animation, it's just, I don't like it for the Scooby-Doo. I'm used to the classic animation, and I know that might be retro nowadays, but just some things feel like they should stay in that style in Scooby-Doo. The animation is one of those things. But okay, fine, you want to update that, fine. I'm sure that I don't have a say in it. But the writing and the plot just did not feel like a theatrical level. It just felt like one of the many direct-to-DVD sequels that Scooby-Doo has. Scooby-Doo has so many direct-to-DVD movies that this felt like maybe even lower than that. It's just writing wise. Again, it's not terrible, but I don't know. It's questionable. At least they had enough sense to put it streaming, to put it on digital. They didn't even try to push it back or pretend like this was worth the wait. Frank Welker does the voice of Scooby-Doo, which makes sense. That's the original voice. He sounds like Scooby-Doo. Maybe you could recast and modulate the voice to make it sound like it, but at least they didn't change that. But Will Forte as Shaggy, this was kind of annoying. I did not care for the voice of Shaggy. Look, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard, and I don't want to sit here and beat up Will Forte more than I have to. I just felt like there was no reason why they could not have Matthew Lillard come back and do this. He's been doing this, the voice of Shaggy, for 20 years, just about. Come on. His voice as Shaggy, not just live action, but even in the animated stuff since then, just sounds perfect. It's the perfect amount of screech, the perfect amount of raspiness. There's just something about that voice that works when he does it. This just didn't sound right. It sounded off. And at first, when you see them as young, you think, oh, okay, well, maybe that's why they didn't bring him back. But then they jump ahead, 15 minutes into the movie, they jump ahead to them being fairly close to the age that you expect them to be. And so, again, I don't really understand the recasting. It's weird. Zac Efron as Fred, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne, Gina Rodriguez as Velma. I guess you just decided to cast people with names, and so it's recognizable. But honestly, some of these animated movies, you don't need that level of voice actors, because all you're doing is overpaying them when you could just keep the same actors who are probably cheaper and probably even better for the roles. I do have some fondness and appreciation that they did make Velma Hispanic. I know that might piss some people off. I think I did see some people being annoyed about that. Look, I'm not Spanish, even though people think I am by looking at me. It's not like, representation, that's me. No, it's not like that. It's just I don't know, that's a character that I think you can do that to her, and it doesn't change who she is. It doesn't change anything about her, really. She still looked quite the same, in fact. So that's more so why I appreciate it. Mark Wahlberg does the voice of this character, Brian, aka Blue Falcon, who's like a comic book like figure. Although he really plays the son of the real Blue Falcon. But it was weird to have Mark Wahlberg doing the voice for it because he just sounds like Mark Wahlberg. You know, it's just like, I'm not even gonna do the Mark Wahlberg impression. I'll save that for like The Happening or something. But it's so distinctly his voice, and so the character's fine, I guess. He wasn't really the hero, or he was more afraid to do everything. It was more his sidekick that ended up doing everything. That robot dog, whatever his name is. Jason Isaac plays Dick Dastardly. Yeah, alright, fine. The 12-year-old side of me finds that slightly amusing, but the adult, the grown-ass man side of me is ashamed of myself for chuckling every time they said it, because they said it a lot. Also, the one, as much as I complained about Will Forte or other type of voice casting, the biggest egregious one was Captain Caveman, played by Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan, look, I appreciate that this guy is still kicking around after that coma and that horrible incident that he had a couple years ago. And there's other times, other movies, not Cop Out, where I find him funny. But this was just like, no, you're not Captain Caveman. You don't sound like Captain Caveman. You're not even trying to be a character. You're just Tracy Morgan with that same Tracy Morgan voice, that same like demeanor and cadence to your voice that just, I don't find that loud yelling that he does funny. I don't find it funny, and that's really all that he was banking on and going off of. The only thing that would make it more annoying is that if it was Kevin Hart, then I would say F you to this movie, but luckily it wasn't that. So yeah, overall, look, this is a more recent film, so I guess if I were to rate it, I'll give it a Netflix and chill.
Oh yeah.
But man, yeah, this isn't something that I'd be quick to rewatch. This isn't something that I even really understand the point of it being made. It's fine. It's a time waster. It's there. It happened. I watched it, and I'll probably forget it in a little bit more time from now. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you saw Scoob. Did you like it? Did you love it? Am I being way too harsh? At least I didn't say it sucked. Give me that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!